First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Hogs on the highway, the early morning accident that shut down a road for hours. And we're on your side tracking the tropics. You're going to see the projected path of Hurricane Rina, plus 2 days after an earthquake in Turkey. Signs of life in the rubble. But first, breaking news in Suffolk, where fire and rescue crews are on the scene at Sara Lee Food Service on Progress Road off of Rilroy.
It's also known as the Massimo Zanetti Beverage Group. This started just before 4, and it appears to be out now. Chopper 10 is giving us this view there in Suffolk. All employees, we are told, are accounted for. There are no injuries reported at this fire, but you do see some fire vehicles as photographer zooming in there on Chopper 10 a little bit there. Do you see fire crews?
Yes, we do, right there on the edge, and no reports of any real traffic problems around this area. And we can't see any damage from this vantage point, but it's pretty high up, and we don't see a lot of activity going on here at this point. But again, this is in Suffolk at a beverage company there off Rilroy Road.
Sara Lee Food Service.
Sara Lee Food Service.
Yes, a lot of people employed there in that building.
Now we're going to go. State police are looking for a driver who hit a 13-year-old in Gloucester and didn't stop.
The boy tried to catch his bus just before 7 Monday morning when the car hit him. It happened on Route 14 at Rangtang Road. Only on 10, Katie Collette just got back from speaking with the child at the hospital. Katie, how's he doing?
Well, Nicole, 13-year-old Derek Berry clearly hurts. He just got out of surgery to repair major damage to his leg. Now, he's on his way to recovery, and while he just wants to put this all behind him, his family says they want answers. Derek Berry surrounded by family in his hospital room.
Just a little bit of pain.
A little bit of pain from a terrifying hit-and-run crash. Derek, the victim.
When we were sitting in the house, we had heard the bus, so we had tried to run outside to catch the bus. But we had missed it.
That's when Derek says he and his cousin ran across this 4-lane highway to catch their bus on the other side of the road. But Derek tripped right by this blind turn, a car coming around the bend.
When I was getting up, I saw it coming, and I tried to jump out the way, but it just hit my leg. When it hit me, it impacted the car, and it kind of slowed down, but then the car just kept going.
Derek's grandmother, Estelle, furious as she looks at the spot where the car hit her grandson.
My grandson cannot play basketball, nothing no more, football, nothing, because he's innocent laying in a bed in the hospital because some careless person probably was speeding and just didn't stop.
State police say it's possible the driver didn't see Derek because the 13-year-old was near the ground when the driver rounded the bend, but Estelle isn't so sure.
If you run over a deer, a dog, or anything, you're going to stop. This person didn't even stop. So this person, to me, don't have a heart.
As police focus on their search for the driver, Derek focuses on his recovery.
I have to do physical therapy, and then I should be able to walk a little bit more.
Now, if you saw the accident and have any details for state police, call them at the number on your screen, 1-800-582-8350. Remember, any detail, no matter how small you think it may be, could help that investigation. In the newsroom, Katie Collette, 10 on your side.
And Derek says surgeons placed a metal rod in his leg that runs from his hip to his knee. 13-year-old says he hopes he'll be able to run and play sports again soon.
Well, this is a different meaning of the term road hog. A truck overturned around 5 this morning on Godwin Boulevard near Kings Highway in Suffolk, and dozens of hogs ended up on the road. There they are. It closed for a while, but we understand the road just reopened. Then on your side's Ava Hurdle shows you what happened.
The overturned pig truck brought out the curious, like local resident Vanessa Avery, here to take pictures. Dozens of pigs likely headed for the slaughterhouse when the tractor trailer hauling the animals somehow overturned along Godwin Boulevard.
I ain't never seen, pigs get out like this before. I'm very excited about the pigs.
Why so?
Because I ain't never seen, pigs that big before.
Avery figures there were a couple of factors in this accident.
Probably speed and shifting load.
She watched as workers spent hours corralling the animals for transport.
No, this is not an uncommon sight because these trucks be going too fast on this highway, and that's why that one turned over this morning. Probably the pigs got on one side, the truck got too heavy and it flipped over.
Police are looking into just what caused this accident. In the end, all the pigs were loaded into yet another truck, destination Smithfield. In Suffolk, Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
Now, the driver in this accident received minor injuries and was treated by Suffolk Fire and Rescue.
Guilty on all charges. That's the verdict a Virginia Beach jury delivered in the case of a man accused of killing an undercover detective. The jury convicted 30-year-old Marshall Moyd of several charges, including first-degree murder, robbery, and possession of a sawed-off shotgun. Prosecutors say Moyd arranged a drug deal that led to the deadly shooting of Detective Michael Phillips at a shopping center in August 2008. Tomorrow morning, the jury will continue deliberating his sentence. Co-defendant Ted Carter pleaded guilty to killing Phillips. He's serving a life sentence without parole.
Police say a woman in Norfolk attacked a man with a stun gun. So B. Diana Williams is charged with assault and wearing a mask in public. Now, police say that Williams and a man used the stun gun on the victim around 6:30 yesterday morning on Colonial Avenue in Colonial Place. Investigators are still searching for the other suspect. Meanwhile, police are getting more information about a homicide in Chesapeake. Detectives tell us just before 1 a.m. on October 20th, they got a call about a shooting at McMillan Mobile Home Park on Bainbridge Boulevard. They rushed 31-year-old Owen Ottinger to the hospital, and before he died, Ottinger told investigators that a man shot him through his storm door. Police say they're looking for two suspects, but they have, at this point, very vague descriptions.
Hurricane Rina is getting stronger as a Category 2 storm off Central America's Caribbean coast. The National Hurricane Center says the storm could hit Cuba in the next few days, but one expert says it could also move toward southern Florida. Chief Meteorologist Don Slater is tracking the tropics in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. Don, is it any chance of that coming our way?
Not much of a chance at all. It's very, very far away, and there's not really even a real big chance of it hitting Florida. There is a slight chance, though, of it hitting Florida. I want to show you what's going on with it. It's just started developing just a bit of an eye now here in the past little bit. It's right on into there. We'll let it rotate one more time, and you can see it. Really quite a healthy storm, and it's likely to get healthier. It's a Category 2 right now. Once it hits Category 3, it becomes a major storm. 110-mile-an-hour winds right now, moving to the west at about 3 miles an hour. Likely to move through the Cozumel resort community, and Cancun is right into here on the top of the 3. That's another area right on into there. There's where things are by Friday afternoon. It's weakened a bit, and then it moves over western Cuba by Sunday afternoon. Now, the forecast models have it just all over the place. There is one that does take it over southern Florida, but the rest of them keep it into the western Caribbean. What's going on for us? We got some great weather. You're going to see that coming up in our forecast in just a few minutes.
Navy brass permanently relieved the commander of the Norfolk Navy shipyard from duty. The military formally reprimanded Rear Admiral Greg Thomas for conduct unbecoming an officer and gentleman. Thomas took over the shipyard in 2010. Rear Admiral Joseph Campbell has served as acting shipyard commander since June and will continue until a new commanding officer is appointed.
Rescues continue in southeastern Turkey 2 days after a powerful earthquake, and in the middle of this dusty rubble and human suffering, a ray of hope that would make anyone smile. A 2-week-old baby alive. He was pulled from a collapsed apartment building. Rescuers clapped while paramedics rushed the boy to a waiting ambulance. Then, hours later, the mother was pulled from a flattened building. She was pinned next to a sofa. The baby's grandmother was also rescued. Still, the human toll is rising. It now stands at 432 dead. The Turkish government says more than 1,300 people were hurt. Sunday's quake measured 7.2 and toppled some 2,000 buildings. Close to 500 aftershocks have rattled that area since Sunday. And what of the survivors? They are sleeping in tents or cars in near freezing conditions, afraid to return to their homes. Local authorities warn that damaged buildings could collapse. There's still no power or running water. Groups desperate for help are swarming aid trucks, as you can see. Police had to help with distribution. The earthquake victims need everything from water to food to blankets.
For the second time in a week, a Norfolk school security officer pepper sprayed students following a lunchroom fight. Coming up next, I'll let you know why Norfolk is the only city where the school security officers are carrying pepper spray and what procedures those security officers are supposed to be following.
New advice concerning a controversial shot will tell you who researchers now say should also get the HPV vaccine.
And it may not be over for people who lost their homes to foreclosure, how they could end up getting money back.
You're You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libus, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
A government panel recommends young boys also get the controversial HPV shot. The vaccine is now given to girls to prevent cervical cancer. Doctors on a CDC advisory committee argue it could protect boys against some kinds of cancers and help prevent the spread of the sexually transmitted virus to girls. There's been controversy surrounding the HPV vaccine since it was first recommended 5 years ago. Some feel it encourages promiscuity. Some parents don't like the idea of immunizing their child against a sexually transmitted disease. Federal health officials usually adopt what the panel says and ask doctors and patients to follow those recommendations. We asked on Facebook, do you think young boys should get the HPV vaccine? Here are a few responses. Tamara says, if my boys were still children, yes, I would have it done. I can't believe people get so hung up over the idea that their children will eventually be sexually active. Adults that they would risk their lives with illnesses that can be prevented. Karen says, if parents would educate their children, you wouldn't have to worry about any of it. Angela says, I will definitely have the talk with my kids and hope that they save themselves for marriage, but I'm still going to play it safe and get my kids vaccinated.
Millions who lost their homes may get payback. Next month, the federal government's expected to send letters to 4.5 million current and former homeowners to let them know they can ask for reviews of their cases. Those reviews will look at whether any mistakes were made in those cases. If errors are found, the homeowners could get restitution. Customers of Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citibank are among those who can ask for the reviews. It covers people in foreclosure in 2009 and 2010.
Halloween is October 31st, right? Well, one lawmaker wants to move it. We'll tell you when and why.
Missing medical records in Virginia Beach, a story we first reported months ago. Hear what happened when 10 on Your Side finally tracked down the doctor.
More than 6 months after a Virginia Beach doctor skipped town and left patients without their medical records, 10 on Your Side tracked him down.
We made our first attempt back in May after Docs on Call went out of business. And after our story aired, the state medical board got involved and some patients received their records. But a month ago, that stopped. 10 on Your Side, Stephanie Harris went to go check it out. Steph, what'd you find?
Well, Tom, Nicole, the doctor responsible for the patient records left Hampton Roads months ago and headed to Houston, Texas, where he became part of the team caring for Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. He ignored calls from former patients, from coworkers, and from us until now.
E-files. Pam Mullinex needs her medical records to find work as a nurse.
I'm entitled to them as a patient.
She's tried for months to get them from the now closed Docs on Call on Providence Road. Dr. Glenn McDermott worked at the same medical franchise on Great Neck Road.
This is going on long enough, and patients are being harmed by it.
Dr. McDermott called 10 on Your Side for help getting his own patients' records from Dr. Imogi Isacu, who owned the local franchise.
The true one that can really get action on this is the state board.
10 on Your Side contacted the State Board of Medicine and received this email response. The board has no authority to take possession of a practitioner's records. They are the personal property of the licensee. Residents can request their medical records from Dr. Isacu and Transmedia, Inc. We tried again to contact Dr. Isacu. This time, he talked and gave me an address for patients to request their files, but it's the same one patients tried months ago.
I think a few people have tried, but it's not working, sir. Well, sir, if it's not working, then that's not an answer.
He accused me of trying to pick a fight.
I'm not trying to. I'm simply trying to get these people their records.
He assured me the address is good, that he honors his word, then hung up. I gave the address to Pam.
I will try it.
But you're not.
But I'm not thinking that it's going to be an easy process.
All right, now while you grab a pen to write down the address he gave to me to request medical records, let me tell you what else the Board of Medicine said you can do. They said you can hire a private attorney, or you can file a complaint with the Enforcement Division of the Department of Health Professions. Now, they wouldn't tell me how many complaints, if any, have already been filed, only that they do investigate all complaints. Now, here's the address. To request records, it's 1340 Great Neck Road, Suite 1272, PMB 390, Virginia Beach 23454. We'll put that on our website along with where you can file a complaint with the state. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
Now, in high definition, your Super Dot for 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
And a look at what's going on right now throughout the area. Super Doppler 10 live, no rainfall, obviously. Skies are clear as a bell into the entire region. That will change coming up in the next several days, and you're going to see that in the forecast. And I don't know why I'm doing that. Anyway, 2011 storm names. We talked a little bit about the hurricane out there, and we've run through quite a few names already. We're already up to Rena. Sean is not likely. Yesterday there was an area that we were looking at that could have developed, but it has not so far, and it's weakened a bit. But we want to give you a rundown of where the spring predictions were, and these were for April and May, preseason predictions. Colorado State University predicted 16 named storms, in other words, tropical storms or greater, 9 of those becoming hurricanes, and 5 of those becoming major hurricanes, category 3 or above. NOAA, the National Weather Service, basically predicted 12 to 18 named storms, 6 to 10 of them becoming hurricanes, and 3 to 6 becoming category 3 or above. Here's what we've dealt with so far into the season. Pretty close, actually, except for the hurricanes. Not as many hurricanes that are on the low end of the Weather Service prediction, 6, and 3 major hurricanes, and it's likely that Rena will become the 4th here eventually, and probably tonight, as this storm is likely to really develop into a category 3 storm. Right now, it's category 2 storm, and it's really, really threatening Cozumel. There's also Cancun, which is right there, and I didn't put it on there. Just didn't want to mess up the map with all the information here, but you can see, because I knew it would be going directly over the top of it. There's where it is by tomorrow afternoon, or excuse me, by Thursday afternoon, day after tomorrow, really hitting those areas. 110-mile-an-hour winds right now, but 115 category 3 coming up by Thursday afternoon. By Friday afternoon, 90-mile-an-hour winds. The interaction with the land has broken it up a bit, and then it's over western Cuba by Sunday with 50-mile-an-hour winds. So again, this thing is very, very far away. It would be very far-fetched to say it would have any effect on our area. We've got a cold front that's going to be dropping in that'll really tend to shunt anything away from our part of the world that might be moving on up from the tropics. We're going to see 70s for a couple of days, and then after that, we're going to see temperatures cool on down. Now, here are the next 2 days, couple of days. You'll note that there's a cold front approaching, and that cold front will be drawing very near by Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, and then it'll slam out through the area Thursday night. We'll see some of this rain slide through with that. So again, big changes coming up by Thursday night and especially into Friday. We're going to see 70s for a couple of days. Here's what's going on tomorrow. During the day, we'll see a high temperature into the mid-70s, 74, 75, 76. Here's where we are into Wednesday, through Wednesday night, into Thursday morning, and Thursday during the day, 78, 80 degrees. Very, very warm weather for the next couple of days. Right now, it's not bad either. 67, 68, 66 degrees into the area. Overnight, we drop on down into the upper 40s, and during the day tomorrow, we're likely to be around 74. There's 79 degrees for Thursday, and then the bottom drops out Thursday night, and certainly for Friday and Saturday, 57, 57, 58 on Sunday. For Halloween Day, it'll be around 63. Put a coat underneath the costume.
We're following breaking news in Portsmouth right now. Police are on the scene of a shooting. This is Chopper 10 video just arriving to Portsmouth Boulevard.
We don't know the extent of the victim's injuries here, but Chopper 10 is above trying to get a shot there to show us, trying to zoom in. And I'm just trying to look here to try to describe this picture, because Chopper is just getting over the scene, and I don't know what we can tell you. There's a police car there. We're there somewhere in a neighborhood, and
it's off Portsmouth Boulevard. We don't have much other information except the shooting happened here within just the last hour or so. We're going to get information for you and bring it to you as soon as we get it. 1200 block, we understand, of Portsmouth Boulevard. That just came in.
And keep it here for details, and of course WAVY.com for the latest on breaking news there out of Portsmouth. Well, for many people, trick-or-treating is an October 31st tradition, but one lawmaker wants to move Halloween.
Just tradition should be tradition. It'd be like changing Christmas.
More on the proposal to change the date and why. And a 9-year-old autistic boy is missing near Richmond. There's an outpouring of support in the search. We'll tell you what's making it so difficult. Ahead on WAVY News 10 at 5:30.
On Monday night, many of you are going to hear that door knock and that familiar line, trick or treat.
But a Connecticut lawmaker, well, He wants to move Halloween. Instead of having it on October 31st, Representative Tim Larson wants to move it to the last Saturday of the month. He says it would help families since they won't have to rush after school and work. He also says it would be safer for trick-or-treaters to go door to door when it's light out.
I would suspect that there's some people that can choose. Is there anything else better we can think about with our lives today? And I'm a huge critic of that. But I also say, you know, the amount of effort that goes into an idea like this, I mean, sometimes common sense doesn't really take an awful lot of.
Well, obviously, it's too late for this year, but Representative Larson says he's going to try to make it happen for next year.
There is a new arrival at the Virginia Aquarium. You're going to see what's swimming around in one of the tanks and, more importantly, how she got there.
Then at 5:30, an amazing sight lit up the night sky. Hear what's behind the spectacular show from Mother Nature.
Okay. And how is the Fox News got here?
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting.
According to Google.
Hi, check. And
How about a big welcome to the newest resident of the Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center. This is Mina, a zebra shark from Indonesia. They caught her in the wild from the Thousand Islands, and now the Red Sea Aquarium is her home. Mina's 5 feet long. She weighs 37 pounds. Pretty small. Zebra sharks like Mina are listed as vulnerable species, so the aquarium is excited to have one to share with guests. Staff members say they call her Mina because that's a coastal area along the Red Sea. Stay with us right here because WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.